What's up, comic book peeps? Welcome to another episode of Direct Edition. The channel is Fred Hall Direct Edition. And today we're going to be doing another comic book haul. This comic book haul is pretty cool because, as you know, I was tasked to go through, 3 big bins of comic books. I was also tasked to go through 8 long boxes of a collection. And for the next 3 to 4 videos, it's going to be stuff strictly out of that haul that I did, because as I was looking through those collections and as I was, pulling out key issues out of those collections, I also pulled out issues for myself, and the $10 books I stayed away from. I purchased some of the $5 books, and first appearances, I'm waiting until I find them in better conditions. I'm a extreme collector. I don't like any ticks, anything wrong with my comics, even though I've learned to chill out when it comes to the old school crusty dusties. Those, if the book has survived 60 years, of course, it's going to have ticks and stuff on it. So with that being said, I wanted to show you something very cool, man. Not only am I showing you some of my Wonder Womans that I love. You got Week 52 Wonder Woman fighting Giganta. I think that's her name, which is an old villain of hers. You have that selfie variant, which is the second comic book. You also have the David Finch Warrior cover, which I love so much. I have 2 of the selfies and I have 2 of the Warrior ones. I think it's so cool, man. I don't know why that one hasn't jumped in price yet. Wonder Woman versus Donna Troy, which I kind of don't like that cover because I'm such a Donna Troy fan. I hate to see Donna Troy beat down like that. I'm wondering why she beat her down like that. And then you have Wonder Woman number 52, which is a beautiful cover. I really like a strong female character, and Wonder Woman takes the cake. Wonder Woman and Storm, they take the cake as far as strong women. Then you have the Wonder Woman number 1, Rebirth. And as my boy Gory J told me, you have the Wonder Woman Rebirth number 1, which is a one-shot. So, all that speaking about my favorite baby, my second favorite female heroine, which is Wonder Woman, first being Storm. Let me show you something very cool, man. And bam, there you have it. One day I was going through Walmart. I like to go to this kind of expensive Walmart. It's in like a high class area, which I love, because most of your Walmarts are in dirty dungeons and stuff like that. Not, my dungeon is not dirty. The dungeon where I shoot at is very clean. But anyway, most of your Walmarts are. This is my. I'm not sure how many inches tall she is. This is my, I would say 14, because she's not 12. She's taller than 12. She's about 14 or 16 inches tall Wonder Woman action figure. And I just fell in love with this thing. I think I bought it for like $10, So it was worth buying. She was on clearance. And the reason why I like going to that Walmart is because a lot of times they have their action figures and stuff on clearance. They have a whole aisle dedicated to it. So I thought this was very cool. Jack Pacific Wonder Woman, based off the movie. Very beautiful. She comes with this kind of fur coat over her. I had to take the fur coat back. I usually don't do anything to my action figures, but I had to pop a couple of rubber bands off of her in order to get that jacket off of her. And it's still not completely off her because you can see it in the background. But here's a cool look at the front of the figure. And here's a cool look at the back of the figure, with the Wonder Woman synopsis and stuff like that. I've had this figure for a while now, for at least about 2 months. But I just kept staring at it, and I just kept forgetting to put it on the channel. And it's finally here, man. It's finally here. My baby, Wonder Woman. So yeah, there you have it. She's going to chill out with us for a while. So let's go ahead and get into, our normal things that we do on this channel. But before I do, man, look at that face, man. That's almost Hot Toy Hot Toy caliber. I mean, the likeness to the character is dead on. When did they start making, cheaper toys so dead on as far as like the features and stuff? Beautiful. All right, man, let's get into it. And this episode of Direct Edition is brought to you by my fake Darth Maul from China. And you know how we do on this channel. Let's get into some comics. Okay, so as I'm digging through the collection, I did have to get me a healthy Uncanny X-Men run. And this cover is so cool because, this is from the House of M when everything was different, where they had to put Psylocke, Jean Grey, and Rachel Grey in the white hot room of the Phoenix. Scarlet Witch had to do that because, them being telepaths, they wouldn't fall into, what was going on as far as the mind trick of the House of M. And if you haven't read House of M, you definitely have to go back and read it. But this book is this is around the time when the Shi'ar Empire sent their death squad to kill all of Rachel Grey's family, which they did under like 10 minutes. So definitely love this run. This book is actually like a $5 book. Adam gave it to me for $1 at Archaic Comics. And I really appreciate it, man. I love this cover, and I think it's very cool. Now, I'll tell you guys a couple of videos back that Storm has a lot of covers that's themed like this, a rain themed. She has a cover in Extreme X-Men where she's, just feeling the rain, kind of like in this pose. She has one in Uncanny X-Men later on, like more closer to the year of like 2008, where Greg Land drew it, where she's actually smiling in the storm and, rain is hitting her face. She has this iconic cover. I think this is the first one that they did, and this cover has been swiped at least 5 or 6 times. But this is definitely one of my favorite Storm covers because, like I said, it was swiped so many times. This is Uncanny X-Men 290. I bet it's from 1991. Let's see. Feel out my sexy fingers to interrupt your video. Let's look at the date. It is 1992, around the time of Hurricane Andrew in Miami. And I definitely love this cover. This is her after she breaks up with Forge. She's like trying to find some serenity in her breakup. And see, this is Uncanny X-Men 289. This is the cover that, this is the book that I'll tell you about when she broke up with Forge, which led to the next book of her, In the Rain. And this is a very cool cover, newsstand. And yeah, I never kind of dug Storm and Forge as a couple, but I really did dig her and Black Panther as a couple. The reason why I didn't approve of her and Forge is because Forge was just a straight up butt to her. If I can curse, 1, 2, 3, he was a straight up dick to Storm. And he was an ass, and I didn't like the way he treated her, and especially her being my favorite hero as far as a woman. So, but yeah, pretty cool. So I picked up this also out of the collection. This is Uncanny X-Men 262. It's a very cool newsstand. Even though I don't like Forge and Storm being together, Forge is still a cool character to me. He's actually a mutant engineer. A lot of people don't know that. And when you deal with engineering like I have, you would realize that Forge, basically his powers are that he can't like really create life, but engineering is when you can create machinery. And that's what Forge mutant power is. A lot of people get confused and don't know what his mutant powers is or don't really care. I definitely love the Native American. I just don't like him with Storm. And that's a cool him and Banshee cover. Very cool. And for some reason, this book is like a $5 book, but under the description, it doesn't have like a lot that would allude to it being $5. So, but very cool, man. Let's keep going. Okay, this is Uncanny X-Men 250. I'm not quite sure who that is with Polaris. I'm sure probably my boy Gory J would know, but I don't, that's a pretty cool cover, man. This it's very nice. Most of these old school X-Men's I'm showing you, I actually have in a big trade paper hardcover. But this is a very cool cover. Definitely love me some Polaris. Definitely love me some Uncanny X-Men. Like I said, as I was going through the collection, my first run at the collection, I just cherry picked my Uncanny X-Men and a couple of key issues or a couple of, $10 books or whatever. Even though I didn't want to go after the $10 books, I stuck a couple to the side and eventually picked them up. So as I'm shooting this video, this is my second week of going through that collection. So I have about 60 books out of that collection that I'm going to show you eventually through my videos. But very cool Polaris cover. In the last Uncanny X-Men cover that I'm going to show you, because I did get a healthy run of Uncanny X-Men, and this video is not going to be strictly Uncanny X-Men. We're going to have to, chop it up and do some other stuff. But I saw this book in my boy Gory J's video, and shout out to Leonard Hutchins for the random act of kindness, him and Gory J. But I saw this in my boy Gory J's video. It was him and his wife anniversary, and he did wedding covers. So when I ran across this book, I already knew what it was because I had did my homework and watched one of my friend's videos. So this is Uncanny X-Men. Let's see what number it is. This is Uncanny X-Men 179. I definitely want to look at that year. So if you allow my 60 fingers to interrupt your video again, this is 1983. And this book does have some issues going on, but it's from 1983, man. Like, I was a toddler at that age, so definitely glad to have this in my collection. That's Kitty Pryde and Caliban getting married, if you needed to know. Yes, Kitty Pryde and Caliban in the Morlock Tunnel getting married. So, very cool. Let's move on. So next on the list, I picked up this Catwoman just because, I love my Adam Hughes Catwoman covers. This is not an Adam Hughes Catwoman cover at all. But because I'm into the Catwoman from Adam Hughes, I picked this one up to go with my run. Because I'm definitely going to start pulling the trigger as soon as I see the Adam Hughes Catwoman covers in a while. It's just that I haven't ran across any of them as of late. But I do know where I can go and get some. So eventually that will wander its way into my collection, the Adam Hughes Catwoman covers, which is very cool. So that's why I picked up Catwoman number 87. Plus it was like for 50 cents. So, why not? So I showed you this on my last video, or, one of my last videos. Not actually my last video. The last video was the RKO. The video before that, I think it's Raiders of the comic collection, which is based off of Indiana Jones' Raiders of the Lost Ark. I showed you these. This is 1 and 3 of Wonder Woman, The Blackest Night. Definitely love these Greg Horn covers, and the reason why I'm showing you this is because I finally was able to complete the run by going through the rest of the long boxes that this guy had. Now, it was 2 collections that I was tasked to go through. The one in the tubs were basically a collection that was bought out of a storage unit. And that one I really didn't get a lot of comics out of because it was torn to shreds. I'm talking about just staples missing, covers gone, fading, just all kind of problems with his comic books. So I really didn't like going through that collection. But the 8 long boxes that was in the back, I love going through that because I pulled out a lot of Greg Horn covers. So not only do I have a lot of Greg Horn Wonder Woman covers, but definitely when I finally show you my Miss Marvel run, it's a lot of Greg Horn covers. And I've already shown you a couple of my Miss Marvel runs, but definitely love these Greg Horn covers. Glad I was able to finish this series, and there you have it. Man, I definitely had to pick up this book strictly for the cover. This would be the, what do you call her? She-Hulk from the alternate timeline. That's her mother and her father fighting. That's the Incredible Hulk fighting Thundra. I've always been a huge fan of Thundra, and it's very cool to see her going at it with the Hulk. So I mean, she is super duper, extremely powerful. And another reason why I picked up this cover, that was almost like three reasons. The fourth reason why I picked up this cover is because it's my boy, Greg Land. I really like Greg Land a lot. I don't care about the controversy around him. I think he's a very good artist, and you guys leave him alone. But definitely, man, look at that Thundra. Just look at that. That's just, it's something about a woman that could just fight and be on par with, the strongest male figures. You know what I'm saying? Thundra is a beast. Yeah. And that's a one shot. It's called the Hulk Raging Thunder one shot. Very cool. So one of my favorite characters that I really don't have a lot on her is Songbird. I'm a huge Songbird fan, and I don't know why. I think I just like the way the pink hair hits the white hair, and also just the way that she can create wings by basically the sound of her voice, or basically just create her wings. The cover is by Marko Didirjevic. I hate saying that name because I always butcher it. I'm almost sure about that name. It sounds Russian, but two more books that he also drew. Let me just show you because his artwork is sick, man. Now the Songbird cover says Marco, and these Web of Spider-Man covers say Jelena Didirjevic. So I feel like the landlady from Friday After Next. What the hell is going on? Like I have to do my freaking research now because it's like the artwork looks the same on all of them, but it's a Marco and a Jelena, which is confusing. But if that is a female drawing the Web of Spider-Man's, wow, man, I'm a big fan of her artwork. And I'm also a big fan of Marco, which is Thunderbolts one. So here we go, Internet. I'll see you soon. And this is the only book that I picked up strictly off the shelf. I picked it up strictly for just the artwork. It's very beautiful. I really love this cover. It's very Terry Dodson-esque, but I'm sure that's not Terry Dodson. That's somebody else. I almost thought that signature was J. Scott Campbell, but I don't think it's J. Scott Campbell. Matter of fact, let's just go ahead and see who the artist is. So the artist is Emmanuel Lupacchino, which is very cool. And as I looked on the inside, guess who draws cover B, which I'm going to be looking for? None other than J. Scott Campbell. So I definitely want to go ahead and look for cover B. This is a 25-cent book. I think next time I go in the shop, I'm just going to pick up another one because I just really love this cover. And this is Sheena, Queen of the Jungle. Man, just look at this. They really, knew what they were doing when they drew this cover. So, and I'm not a big cover fan. I try to look for books that I think will increase in value, or I try to look for runs. But this cover definitely made me buy it, and it was worth what, 25 cents. All right. So I haven't picked up a What If in a while, but I definitely had to pick up this What If Uncanny X-Men. And I thought it was pretty cool. I thought it was Emperor Vulcan on the front, but it looks almost like Cyclops. I'm not sure, because usually What Ifs I have like, what if, this and that, this and that. This just says What If. Let me crack it open and see if it has the full title on the inside. So this is What If Vulcan gained the power of the Phoenix. Why they couldn't put that on the front cover, so I wouldn't have to, be guessing, what kind of what if this is. But if Vulcan gained the power of the Phoenix, I mean, he's already powerful by himself. He'll be uber duper powerful. He'll be on King Jack Kirby's power level, which Jack Kirby is like the ultimate god in the Marvel universe. He is the creator. So But this is very cool. I can't wait to read it. And gripe I have about going through the 8 long boxes in the back is this guy did not have any boards in his bags. He just had his comics in bags. I'm like, that defeats the purpose. You're protecting the comic book, but you're not protecting the spine. So as you can see, I don't have this in a board. It's bagged, but it doesn't have a board. So I got to go and buy some more boards. But very cool, man. Wow, this cover is just awesome. So I said I don't pick up comics for covers. Well, allow me to kind of contradict myself. I picked this comic book up strictly for the cover. As you can see, that's Wolverine, putting his claws in Blade's head. This is a very cool cover. And guess who it's by? Marco Djurkovic. So I got to definitely get to the bottom of that mystery. We're at the point in the video where you ask me, hey, Fred Hall, Direct Edition, what are you reading right now? And this is what I'm reading right now. This is the same book that I bought you in my last video. This is Avengers Volume 1, John Romita Jr. artwork. The book is basically about King the Conqueror messing up the time stream. And you also have the introduction of the Avengers kids, which is very cool. They did a cartoon on it. So here's a cool look at the front of the book. And here's a cool look at the back of the book. Very cool. Okay, with that being said, let's get into some of your main events. Oh my God, that Blade cover is so cool. I think I'm going to name this video Vampires. Just very cool, man. Very cool. What's up, my Green Lantern fans? For your first main event, this is Green Lantern number 23. This is a direct cover swipe from the Parallax. When Hal Jordan went crazy and he became this crazy character named Parallax and he killed all the Green Lanterns. This is a very cool cover, and I'm actually going to post the original cover at the end of the video, but this is very cool, man. This is your first main event. Definitely glad to have this in my collection because when I actually see the actual original cover, I'm definitely going to pull the trigger. You know, it has to be way out of my ballpark for me not to pull the trigger on that one. So I'm definitely going to pull the trigger. But yes, girls and guys, this is a very, very, very cool cover. And like I said, it's a direct cover swipe from a book that I'm looking for. And yeah. And your next main event is Uncanny X-Men number 509. This is part of the Sisterhood run. I've been trying to complete this Sisterhood run in single issues. I do have one hardcover that leads into Sisterhood, but it actually doesn't cover the actual, run. But yeah, I definitely love this cover. I think this is a cool Psylocke cover. Uncanny X-Men 509. And let me just show you the rest of the Sisterhood books that I have with it. And this is what I have for Sisterhood so far. Very cool Uncanny X-Men run. This would be number 508. Madeline Pryor basically took, Lady Mastermind. She took also Spiral. You have Lady Deathstrike. And I think and she has a couple of more of the girls with her. I'm not sure. They're kind of like newer characters. But this run is definitely cool because I definitely love the Goblin Queen. Definitely love Greg Land's drawing. Look at this one. This is 510. And that's them going at it with the X-Men. And this is the 510 variant, which is Wolverine versus Psylocke. So it's very cool, man. And they actually took Psylocke and tried to make her into, I think, like the Lady Mandarin again, or they actually tried to unlock the British side of Psylocke. So it's a very cool run, man. Definitely have to pick this up eventually in trade paperback. So that would be your second main event. And for your last main event, we have X-Force Necrosha the Gathering, or it's just called Necrosha the Gathering. This is a very cool cover because it's swiped straight from the movie's Vampires. So that's why this video is going to be named Vampires. is because of your main event. And as you know, I've been looking for this Clayton Crane, what do you call them, variants for X-Force. And this is the one. This is one of the ones I've been looking for. So, you know, right after I did that video on X-Force, I was saying that I don't have any of the variants. And, you know, it's been funny because the comic book guys have been looking down on me. And I've been running across a lot of the variants, and I've been picking them up. And I've been loving it, man. It's like I never really seen them out in the wild. But all of a sudden now, you know, I'm finding them out in the wild. And I think this was, I think Adam gave it to me for $15. No, for 10. So I got a hell of a deal on this, man. And definitely glad to have this in my collection. It's a beautiful copy. No ticks, nothing. And yeah, man, one of the coolest covers I own, besides that Teen Titans Lost Boys. So, all right. Once again, I'd like to thank you all for tuning into another episode of Direct Edition. The channel is Fred Hall Direct Edition. You guys be safe out there. I can't wait to go to Dragon Con. I'm definitely going to try to go and bring you guys footage of that. I definitely want to go and have a good time, but words of wisdom, focus on the ones that show you love and the ones that don't show you love. We're just going to keep on rolling without them. I pray that you guys be successful in everything you do. Shout out to my women that's out there that subscribe to me. Definitely love my powerful women. I think women are one of the beautifulest things, if not the most beautiful thing on the earth that God ever created, is a woman. And you guys be safe out there, and I will catch you guys later. Peace.